My name is Alastair Miller, and as a photographer, I'm normally behind the camera. But in this series, with Viking, I'm exploring the Maltese archipelago, Sicily, and Naples. Naples, the mad child of the Mediterranean, a city that lives by its own rules. It's edgy, it's frenetic, it's chaotic. To be in Naples is to be in an opera, where you never quite know what might happen next. I love it. Like any good Neapolitan, I began my day with a coffee in one of the city's best cafes and a chat with my guide for the day, Francesca. Naples coffee culture, which, like a lot of things in Naples, is a complex system of ritual and tradition. It's the fuel that the city runs on. This is the Cafe Gambrinus, where Neapolitans have been slurping down tiny one-shot espressos since 1860. And it was also in Naples that the famous caffè sospeso, literally hanging coffee, was invented. It's a tradition that confirms the generosity of the Neapolitan people. A coffee is offered to the next customer, a passerby, or a homeless person who cannot afford one. Buongiorno, Costantino. Allora, he's the king of the pizzas?
Sei il re della pizza?
Diciamo che facciamo questo da 3 generazioni.
3 generations, they do this.
Wow, okay. And did he learn to make pizza here in Napoli?
Ha imparato a fare la pizza qui a Napoli?
Certamente.
Yes, of
Yeah.
course.
Okay. So he could maybe start by telling me what is the secret of a great pizza?
Qual è il segreto di una grande pizza?
È l'amore.
Love.
Oh, I love it, I love it.
I think we can stop.
Okay.
We can go.
Bravissimo. Okay. Okay, so let's start. Yeah.
Let's go, andiamo.
Questa qui è una pasta che è molto limitata,
Ok.
per fare una cosa molto leggera.
It's a very good pasta, very light, not so heavy when you eat it. You eat it.
Ok? Allora
Alright.
vediamo, la informiamo pure.
Sì.
E
Ok.
dopo andiamo a
Tomato sauce.
See? You make the
Okay.
sauce every day?
Fai questa salsa ogni giorno?
Sì.
Yes. It's a
This is-
fresh
this
tomato
is
sauce and basil.
Basilico.
Basilico from is a plant. Okay.
E là. Sì, no? Vai.
All right.
that looks beautiful with
The
mozzarella.
fresh buffalo mozzarella cheese.
Both. Yeah.
Buffalo, of course.
It's amazing. This took about 3 minutes to make.
That's
from
right.
start to finish.
It's incredible. 3 minutes to be happy all your life.
It looks delicious.
And the buffalo mozzarella cheese are very important because it gives another taste to the mozzarella.
Yeah.
And as well to tomato. And the water is a secret as well of
And it's
the pizza.
it's the colors of Italy. The white,
That's right.
the red,
Green,
and the green.
That's right. Italian flag.
Should we go and eat it?
Sure.
Oh, bravo. È stupendo.
Do you know what they are?
What these are?
Yeah.
No, tell me.
The cat eyes.
The cat's eyes?
Cat eyes, yeah. Small pieces of a marble that the Romans put into the floor just to reflect the moonlight. This one was at the entrance from one of the most important gates, the sea gate. The entrance directly into the forum. So I made just for 1 second, this incredible entrance to the religious area, to the social, place where usually all the people, especially the rich population, meet each other. So I made all these fantastic temples, the Jupiter dedicated to Jove, the Apollo temple, the temple dedicated to the emperor, and for sure some fantastic statue that dominate all the square, just to remind that the emperor was as well another god, I think it's the part of Pompeii that is really fantastic. Here you can have an idea, how fantastic and rich was the city of Pompeii.
These are rather beautiful, the columns.
This one was the Basilica, the Palace of Justice and the Stock Exchange of Pompeii. I told you before, around the forum, you can see just a public building.
So this all would have been covered with a roof?
Yes, was covered by, after the eruption, was a city of Pompeii, especially after the first day, was covered by ashes and pumice stones for the wind action to the southwest side of the city.
So tell me, what happened on that fateful day when Vesuvius, which is just over there behind us, what happened when...
So look at the Vesuvius there. The date of this incredible eruption was October 24th, 79 AD. So when exploded, the volcano, the first day for, the wind, direction to the southwest, exploded, volcanic material, line materials, ashes and pumice stones that covered the city of Pompeii. The second day, we talk about the 3 days of the eruption of the volcano. The second day, since that, this material, volcanic material, made this big cloud that made as well, a kind of eruption that we call a surge. A big cloud of gases that mixed with the meteoric water became poisonous. So the day after, the second day, was really terrible for the inhabitants, not only in Pompeii, but the 9 colonies that were born around the volcano Vesuvius. So the second day in Pompeii died more than 2,000 people.
So the people of this city died not because of lava, but because of the poisonous gases.
So probably the first day, a few people that tried to make any kind of escape survive. But the day after was really terrible, not only for the city of Pompeii, especially for the city of Herculaneum too.
And did people try and escape by the sea?
In Herculaneum, yes. In fact, thanks to the plaster cast, this incredible invention of the plaster cast, not so many years ago, the archaeologists found more than 200 bodies down the port. Probably the people tried to go away from the port of Herculaneum, but it was a very, very windy day. So the sea was really very rough. So it was not possible, to go away by the sea.
People wouldn't stay, would they? Wouldn't everybody just leave the first day?
Okay, you know what? That the Romans didn't know that the volcano was a volcano because the volcano exploded many centuries before. The Romans called the volcano the mountain. It was a mountain rich of agriculture. Imagine that Augustus wanted the construction of a farm up there to make the best wine of the area. So they didn't know that it was a volcano. So they were sure that probably the gods got hungry. So they were sure that it was finished after the first day. They didn't know that the second day, that was really very early, about 6, so it was a start in a life. This cloud of, gases, kill so many people. And then when probably they decide to organize any kind of escape, it was already late. It's a typical public fountain. The Emperor Titus was, during the Roman time, trying to, to finance again, this place, to restart. Mm-hmm. But, was impossible.
That's amazing.
This is a plaster cast. This is just a mold. We have many plaster casts here in Pompeii. Plaster cast of man, woman, slaves, animal. We have a famous plaster cast of a dog and horse. The method of the plaster cast was invented by Giuseppe Fiorelli, an incredible archaeologist that worked here in Pompeii. He was the manager of the excavation of Pompeii, the end of the 19th century. And during the excavation works, Giuseppe Fiorelli understood it in a few places of Pompeii there were underneath empty spaces produced by the organic decomposition of the body. So that's why he thought to fill into the floor is a liquid plaster just to reproduce the shape that was underneath. So he reproduced many bodies like this. Thanks to the plaster cast, we know, for example, that there were some slaves, wear the belt with the name of the owner on the top. So thanks to this method, we could understand so many things. It's a small house. Look to the left and to the right. You can see this is a small room. This is a small bed in a stone with some graffiti. In here, you can see some erotic scenes,
So, so this would have been the bed?
Yeah, this is a bed with the use of, course, a mattress to make much comfortable.
But these are so small, these rooms.
Very small.
I mean, look.
Look how,
It's just for one thing only. Yeah? How were the prostitutes regarded in the society? Were they slaves or were they prisoners?
No.
Did they have a status?
They were slaves. Many of them were slaves, and for sure they didn't have any possibility to live, a regular life like all the other women.
When did the actual excavation of Pompeii begin after it was discovered in the 1700s?
Began in 1748, Pompeii 1738, Herculaneum.
So they started pretty quickly. They knew they had something special.
After the eruption, waited 1,600 years more or less, plus 160 for the excavation. Was discovered at Herculaneum first. It was just a case to discover, this site, because during the excavation works of a farmer of that area, during the excavation works, the column of, the theater of Herculaneum. And then 10 years later, the same thing happening in Pompeii. They found some, original coin, so started to excavate.
Well, all good things must end, and my journey was almost over. And what a trip I'd had. The charming, silent city of Medina and the splendor of the Caravaggio painting in Valletta. and one of my best ever lunches in Gozo, and walking the foothills of Mount Etna in Sicily. And right here in Naples, the simple pleasure of a pizza on the seafront. So many small moments, so many big memories.